I was lord of this place before the crows and rats made it their domain.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Darkest Dungeon here on Not Your Professional Walkthroughs channel with me, your host Max. Well, it's another episode. That means another raid is ahead of us. So, let's see what are the options. Ooh, this is a really nice trinket for boss battle. Bleed amulet and some deeds. We always are on the look for deeds. This is champion level dungeon, so there is no chance we can take it, as even the level 4 heroes would struggle here. Man-at-Arms trinket. Man-at-Arms trinket. Okay. And here we have an occultist only trinket. 3 crests and 3,000 gold. However, due to the fact that we have already cleared out 2 bosses in Warrens, 2 bosses in Ruins, one of the 2 bosses in Cove, we are really behind on the Weald, and Weald of course has 2 more bosses. So since we have a roster of heroes here with level 1 or 2, it would be a good idea to try take a couple more guys and see if we can show you the last group of enemies we can potentially run into. Since this is an apprentice level dungeon, of course the more advanced enemies will not manifest, but it's better than nothing. So, who shall we take? We have Man-at-Arms. You can go. We can take you, we can take you, and we can take you. So this is pretty weird combination of heroes, but when it comes to, well, we will be facing a new kind of enemies. So once again, blight and diseases are the thing which we need to worry about. Unfortunately, we would need to keep the Man-at-Arms at the 4th position. And I kind of want to have my Vestal there. How about we take these 2 for you? We'll take these 2 for you. Flagellant, healing skill minus bleed skill. I'd rather have the bleed thingy. And what's your speed? It's 3, 3, 4. Yeah, okay. And the talents which we have selected. Or do we want to take somebody else? We can potentially, instead of the Flagellant, take our Leper. But screw it, we're gonna need Flagellant potentially for the courtyard and other dungeons, so yeah, let's level up this. I know we will not get deeds to upgrade our roster or the blacksmith, but therefore we might be concentrating on Veld potentially in order to level up our low ranked heroes and be able to then do some more variety of dungeons. And just final 2 checks. kind of screwed up. So these are the 3 which I definitely would like. I'd rather take the command instead of the bellow right now. Can upgrade still this. Okay, and the blacksmith. Is important to keep your upgrades. This will reduce the dramatic difference in your hero stats versus the enemy stats. As remember, our group needs to face multiple parties of enemies, while the enemy is usually set up so that they only face us once. But the longer the encounter takes, the more negative effect it can have. Hopefully I still know how to do wealth. I do prefer to do certain dungeons, like for example Ruins or the Cove. In Cove I can utilize heroes with the Blight talent, such as the Plague Doctors, or the Shield Breaker, or the Abomination for example, while yes, in the Ruins you cannot utilize things like Bleed, you can still utilize Blight, but heroes like Crusader are really efficient in leveling up in those raids.
Corruption has soaked the soil, sapping all good life from these groves.
And
Let
I
us
just
burn out
realized
this evil.
the big mistake I did with my party, as we do not have a proper trap disarmer. So, Fungal Scratcher is one of the new enemies introduced in this biome. We will be fighting a lot of these, and there are other forms of fungi. So, let's see if we can deal with these guys quite efficiently and fast.
A singular strike.
So one of them is definitely dead now. We will boost our overall stats.
Inspiration and improvement. A death by inches. The slow death. Unforeseen.
Beautiful. Lead
Unforgiving.
seems to be working perfectly fine here. Flagellant is doing a great job. We're gonna boost our stats a bit
Time to
more.
perform beyond one's limits. A devastating blow.
So this Scratcher should die, therefore we will need to prioritize the one in the front row. I'm not sure if the Musketeer will be able to actually hit him. Yeah.
Slowly, gently.
Not sure if you will go for Man-at-Arms. Beautiful. A mark is taking its effect. And with the bleed afflicted onto him, he will die at his turn.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
Okay, coughing. I'm not sure if shovel works here, but I think no item from your provisions should usually work. But in Weald, you are risking lots of potential diseases from the curios with which
Wealth
you can
beyond
interact.
measure. Awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
So we need to fulfill 100% of the room battles, meaning we need to go in this direction. So since this is a short one, let's see if there will be something of a value over here, like 2 deeds. Always glad to find those. I seriously don't understand how sprinkling oregano makes everything edible. Okay, so here we have some humanoid enemies for a change. Interesting.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive. Annihilated.
I'm still amazed at how efficient the Musketeer as a class is, as I never actually used to have too many Arbalists in my team because they just never were as efficient. But with her, I'm having so far pretty decent luck in efficiently disposing of the enemies.
The greater the glory.
Okay.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
So the room is empty. Let's see what will face us over here in our way to reach the room with the treasure.
The match is struck. A blazing star is born.
So in case you're wondering why the hell do you keep seeing, for example, the occultists or the bandits all over the place and in every basically type of dungeon we can run into, it's due to the fact that the game has specific enemies which will only manifest in set section of the affected lands, and then there is a mixture of enemies that can randomly appear in any of the other dungeons. Meaning the occultists can, for example, manifest anywhere. The same goes for the raiders or the bandits with whom we just recently fought with, and other enemies as well. Dang, he is brutal.
Great is the weapon that cuts on
So
its
both
own.
of the brawlers are therefore dead. We need to get rid of the
As the fiend
acolyte.
falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Beautiful.
This expedition at least promises success. As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and
Okay.
purpose is made clear.
So we've seen this layout already. It's nothing new. I was hoping there would be the other fungal creature, which usually goes with the Scratcher when you face them. I would at least have something new to discuss.
A brilliant
You've already seen the stats of the acolytes and what their talents are. Okay, so the boots worked, and the move which the acolyte tried to do and shuffle around our units has failed thanks to it. Really not regretting taking the quest which contained said item.
A powerful blow.
So she will die, she will definitely survive. Oh, that was weird, but okay. The Musketeer has strange talents. I honestly don't have that much experience with her. She was added, I believe, in 2018. But for some reason, I have never been updated or notified by the game on Steam that there is such a new hero or update for the game. So I only found out about it while I was going through the wiki page as it displayed a brand new class of heroes. But I'm really not regretting starting a new gameplay with her in my roster. So we need to stack up more bleed here, and she will die. So no more stress. We need to deal one more damage here, or just kill him. And let's give ourselves a little more boost. Lovely. So he will definitely die. Okay, more deeds. Beautiful.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
And that will be it for this dungeon.
A handsome reward for a task well performed.
I do realize it's not too much, but it was the first adventure in the Weald.
The agents of pestilence will yet be driven from our woods.
I'm sorry it took me so many episodes to finally show you this section of the map, but we have way too much content still ahead of us. So there is no rush, and I want to make sure that we will be prepared for things like the Crimson Herd and stuff. So 2 of our heroes leveled up. We got some pretty decent positive quirks here, nothing negative, that usually never happens. And yeah.
A fresh irritant to some, a sanguine memory to me.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Check out the channel for more content. I have a bunch of episodes there for multiple games. And I will see you next time. Bye bye.